1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is how you count bars. That was 4 bars right there. I'm telling you this because YouTube has suggested to me that I should teach you citizens how to write a song. Now, I've been seeing some of y'all suggestions in the comments about what I should and should make videos about. And frankly, I don't like some of y'all attitude. Some of y'all, I recognize it. And yes, I promise I will get around to some of the other stuff. But you're not gonna I don't know, you ain't going to attitude me into doing that. So ADHD gang, y'all all understand the spike gene, right? You understand what I'm saying? You can't tell me to do something I was already going to do. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if I don't like your attitude, I'm definitely not doing it. But anyway. And plus, YouTube, unlike y'all, knows where the views are. You understand what I'm saying? What the audience wants to hear, because y'all don't know. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all click on the video that's titled me talking about a certain thing. Y'all click on it and then complain about me rapping or not rapping or talking about rap stuff or my own rap. Anyway, so I happen to have an idea that's been laying dormant. It's called, ready? Rocket science. The science of how to rock it. You understand what I'm saying? So all of my videos that I do under, about directly music related, I'm going to put a little rocket science in it. You heard? All right. So, like I said, I started out with the 4-bar count. You know how to count 4 bars. In music, the number 4 is the magic number. In my school of music anyway. I don't know. I'm not the judge, not to say nobody else is doing it wrong, but some of them be doing it wrong, right? And some of them get away with it because some people are so good that they can get away with doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? But when I say the number 4 is God in music, I speak of the concept like, what's the standard verse? Spit a what? A 16. 4 times 4. Most hooks are either 4 or 8 bars. Most pools are 4. You know what I'm saying? A bridge would be another 4, 8 bars. You understand what I'm saying? One of the first songs you ever learned in your life, the ABCs, it follows the 4-bar format. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You understand what I'm saying? H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Why you think they squeeze L, M, N, O together? You understand what I'm saying? To make it fit in the bar, so it was rhythmic. Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. You understand what I'm saying? It's one of the first songs you ever learned in your life, and it follows that format. When you break that format, you understand what I'm saying? You cause the listeners to lose the rhythm for a second. They got to find it again now. You understand what I'm saying? They had to stop bopping for a second. You understand what I'm saying? But understand, in the ABC song, all four bars rhyme with the first bar. The words that rhyme should appear at the end of the bar or close to the end of the bar. You understand what I'm saying? Making sense? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So, you take that. You got that, right? Now, you can go, your first bar can rhyme with A, right? Your first bar ends with A. Your second bar has to end with something that sounds like A, right? And then your third bar doesn't have to rhyme with A. You can start a new cycle, right? But if it does rhyme with A, then it's in your best interest to make the fourth bar rhyme with A. unless you're an expert and you know how to freak it. Because if you switch it, then you're gonna have to freak it a little bit. We ain't gonna get into that though, right? So you ask for what who want beef for his war. For the side packs, twin automatic 4-4. Rock what you heard, don't even speak by my fleet. Mini pop ish, but bitch, when you see me. See, that's 4 bars, you know what I'm saying, where not all 4 bars rhyme, just the first 2 and the second 2 rhyme. And then, so for classic song of From Helter Skelter, the intro, Here We Come, on the Nocturnal album, right? So you have that. But if, like I said, if the first, you know, if that 3rd bar rhymes with the first 2, then continue it to the 4th. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Even numbers of raps until you're an expert and you know how to flip it and freak it and do it. You know what I'm saying? You know how to bend the rule and recover from it. So that's how you write a rhyme, basically. You do that. You know, it's all kind of tricks that come within the bar. Sign up for Pendulum Inc. That's Mickey Fax's School of Raps. You understand? He'll teach you how to, you know what I'm saying, the names for all of the functions and all of the fly tricks we do, you know, the punchlines and all of the other tricks. They got names for all the other tricks. Go to, you understand? Pendulum Inc., Mickey Fax, right? So when I write a song, you know, it may start from anywhere. A song may start from a line, you know, from one line. Something crazy I want to say, and I can build around that line. That's one way to write it. The song can come from an idea. It can come from a line. It could come from a thought that I need to make a song called blah, blah, blah. Something we say a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a saying that's like, I need to do a song called, or I don't like it. I don't like it. You understand what I'm saying? Or don't be like that. Just things that I say a lot, I say to myself, I could build a song around that. And that'll be the hook. It'll be in the hook. You know what I'm saying? But I'll start, I usually I start my verses from top to bottom. But I also have a vault of punchlines. Just lines that I come up with dope shit to say, and I put it in this vault of punchlines for when I might need them later. You know what I'm saying? So I go on with about my business. I start the verse. The line that if I started it from a thought, a line, like one particular, that line might not be the first line. I might have to build up to it or whatever. But whatever the case may be, write that 16 bars. Write it out. I push them. I make sure I stack most of my verses with a few punchlines. You understand? In 16 bars, you know, I can be greedy and give you 16 punchlines if I'm wilding out, right? But that's, you know, that's overkill right there. So usually I don't do that. I give you, you know, about, you know, if I can give you 8, then 8 punchlines usually. 8 punchlines in the 16 usually smokes everybody on the song. You understand now? And there are many different ways you can do a punchline, or, well, go to Mickey Fax's school. You know, you got the metaphor simile punchline. Then you got like the entendre punchline. I think they call it shadow boxing over there, something like that. You know, where, you know, top of the morning. Ain't nothing better than waking up the top of the morning. Nothing worse than a nigga pushing off your top in the morning besides popping up on the wake and popping off the top of the morning. 4 different things while saying the same thing. Those are, you understand what I'm saying? Those are all different kinds of tricks. You know what I'm saying? So I put a few, you know, I stack a few in there, usually. You know what I mean? If I could get 7 in there, 6 in there, and, you know what I'm saying, I put some roller coaster flow in there, you know what I'm saying, something to make them go, this nigga go crazy. How do you say what you be saying? Put a little bit of that in there, you know what I'm saying, and you know, write out the 16 bars that way. I always make sure to make a strong ending in my more mature years of rapping, of songwriting. I try not to have the end of my verse overlap the beginning of the hook too much. I might, you know, if the hook starts before the one, you know, before the one drop, then I'll end my verse before the one drop, so I could start so you could hear it and it could float right into the hook. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't think of an example where I did it right off the top of the mind right now, but yeah. So yeah, you have that process. Then I'll basically, depending on how much I'm sticking to the subject matter, like I you know, the second verse may be a little bit more difficult to tailor because I'm trying to match you know what I'm saying? You're trying to match things. Well, me anyway. You don't have to do that, but you should if you songwriting. You know what I'm saying? If you got a topic, not so much match it as far as the flow, the amount of punchlines and all that, just the energy, the kind of subject matter, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? I write out that second verse, I lay down the hook after that. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't even write the hook. You know what I mean? If the hook is simple enough, if it's catchy enough, I don't even have to write it sometimes. I just, you know what I'm saying? I Jay-Z it. Y'all know what that is, right? Jay-Z, Biggie, Wayne, a lot of, certain rappers are notorious for being able to hold the raps in their mind like they wrote it. You know what I'm saying? But, I can do that, but I don't trust it. Hooks are usually just 4-8 bars, so I can do that. You know what I mean? So I lay the hook down after I finish both verses. You know what I'm saying? And then I may have a bridge. You understand what I'm saying? I used to do a lot of bridges back in the early 2000s, but songs been getting shorter and shorter over the years. A lot of people sacrifice the verse length for to make the time shorter. I have tend to cut out the bridge and all of that. But I'm gonna get back to the bridge. The bridge. The bridge. The bridge. Queens Bridge. Brooklyn Bridge. So yeah, bridge, another hook in the mouth. You know what I mean? Sometimes intros are, sometimes intros are good, like intros and outros, you know what I mean? But it all depends on the mood, Sometimes you could ruin the intro or outro doing too much. You understand what I'm saying? So, be mindful of it, you know what I'm saying? But check in with your engineer. If your engineer know what he doing, then listen to his opinion. Don't always be, you know what I'm saying, so gun-ho on your own, on your own shit. So, yeah, that's basically the process. You know what I mean? Some of these verses y'all hear, I may have wrote, it may have taken me a year and an hour to write because I may have wrote the whole verse in the studio that day, but I may have used a verse. I may have used a bar or punchline from the vault of punchlines. You understand what I'm saying? And ain't no telling when that went in. You know what I mean? So you have all of these are all techniques. A few of my little techniques. You know what I'm saying? That a little formula that you can use. You know what I'm saying? You think of fly stuff, things that catchy, dope metaphors, words you could play around with, stuff like that. Save them up. Put them build your own vault of punchlines. And not just punchlines, ideas. You can build a vault of hooks, a vault of, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff helps later for when, because a lot of times thought and motion helps. The motion helps the creativity. You out driving, you can't write, you know what I'm saying? You might need to voice, your vault of punchlines might be in the form of voice recorder. You might have to, say the little, you heard and just stash it and go back to it. It will be useful. So, yeah. So it's important to have a good hook. Intros and outros are optional. Bridges are optional these days, but they are, if you got a catchy song, a bridge, you understand what I'm saying? Like, just know that songs are getting shorter these days. So if you got a bridge, you want to make the bridge, you probably want to do 12 bar verses. You know what I'm saying? 8 bar verses. Like Winter Circle got 12 bar verses. No Guts, No Glory, 12 bar verses. And it's only 2 verses. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, take that for what you will. It's my first little, you know what I'm saying, my little edition of rocket science for y'all. You know what I mean? I will be back get back on my Dean with the it went down like this. That's my version of story time with Rocco. You know what I mean? Random Roccos, you see I throw those in there, you know what I'm saying, from now on. I'm gonna get back to Ugly Truth Tuesdays. It's gonna be my Tuesday jump off. If you want to see all of these things, there's Random Rocco, there's Sigma, songs I got mad about. All of these ideas, Ugly Truth Tuesday, Rocket Science. If you like this, if you enjoyed this edition, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna do all my reviews, my music, my album reviews and all that under the umbrella of the Rocket Science. Let me know what y'all think about all this. You know what I'm saying? If you want to see, if you would like to know what I'm talking about, there are episodes of Sigma, Ugly Truth Tuesday, and all of those things I just did. I have those playlists public on the channel, Monster Nation. Oh yeah, and welcome to the nation. Monster Nation, that is. Y'all are all citizens. I'm the tour guide. I'm your host, the president. I'm the king around here. I'm the landlord, owner, tenant, janitor, master, damn floor with you if you don't follow the rules. The rules are you got to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, all of them. Trying to be a tax-paying citizen of the nation, leave us the super things. Or Cash App. We actually prefer the Cash App. But y'all do y'all. You know what I'm saying? We ain't tripping. We know y'all don't be listening. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Cash App tag will be in the description, along with the Bandcamp link, which is there for those of you who would rather hear me rap than to hear me yap. Now, mind you, I just put out a whole new mixtape. It's not all new music. I'm not trying to mislead the citizens, right? It's an actual mixtape of all of the songs where I'm not violent on them, but they still bangers though. Just to show you understand what I'm saying? You ain't got it. That ain't all I got for you. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't gotta. That ain't all y'all need to have. You understand what I'm saying? A little versatility. But yeah, the Bandcamp link is in it, and that's in the Bandcamp link. If you rather hear me rap than to hear me yap, go to the Bandcamp link. Nonviolent Rocco is there. Slang and Rock Volume 2, Volume 1, all the way back to Shelf Shop, all of the mixtapes. Got new videos out. Winter Circle, well, it's newish. BCC, all of that. Yeah. You rather hear me rap than hear me yap, then do your due diligence, because I'm out here rapping. And, is that it? Yeah, when you commenting, aka tagging up graffiti on our walls, you know what I'm saying, expressing yourself, use your spell checks, not your autocorrects, your spell checks, the one you got. Spell all of the monuments, the legends, the cities, the capitals. Spell them right. Rock is spelled with a C and a K. Unless you a Crip. Crips get a pass, you know. I understand y'all got politics and all that, but if that's your situation, then throw a little cuz something in the comments. You understand what I'm saying? So I recognize. I don't feel slighted. Monster is spelled with an A, not an ER. It's not monster, it's monster. You know what I'm saying? Helter Skelter is spelled with an A and an H. Helter Skelter, not Helter Skelter, no ERs. I know you might be tempted to put an H on Monster because it's an H on Helter and Skelter, but don't. It's not how I go. You like, but the rules don't make sense. Nigga, English don't make sense. How you spell Tuesday? Wednesday. Stupid. That's how. Fuck you get an E from in Tuesday. Anyway, and by all means, for the love of all things decent, it's BCC, not BBC. Pause. Auto reverse. That's what your girl said. That's what your girl said make you feel better? Pause. You the one with the problem. Anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, let me get 4 rocket emojis. They did, I know. I know they did. I use them. All right. Did I get everything right? I'm not just being a stickler about all of the spelling. You know, it helps when you promote. If you want to share and all that. If you type in the thing wrong, they might find something, but they ain't gonna find the mother load. You understand what I'm saying? If they hashtag Helter Skelter wrong, you're gonna find some help. You're gonna find some shit with me and P and all that, but you ain't gonna find the mother load. You know what I mean? So get all the spellings right and all that. And plus, it pisses off the president. So there's that. Made it to the end of the video. 4 rockets. Rock on, rock gone.